What's going on? You're back. How you doing? How's it been? I'm good. How's your week? Can't complain. That's good to hear, man. So what's the word, man? Why aren't you Christian? Or what are you talking today? What's the word? Why aren't you Christian? There's a Christian dilemma. This Christian dilemma is why you're not Christian. All right. Oh,
My argument proves that, yeah.
sorry to those on YouTube.
Totally
Sound is
false.
on now. All right. So to those on YouTube, he told me there's a Christian dilemma that he wants me to refute, and he said this dilemma is why he's not Christian. So yeah, go ahead. Tell me what's this dilemma? Talk to me.
Yeah. So it's just gonna be a. Hold on 1 second. Doing something. Yeah. So it's just gonna be 5 premises, 3 conclusions, inference rules, modus ponens, unless there's a non sequitur, but you're gonna have to argue for that. If you disagree with any of the premises, let me know. I'm gonna do one at a time instead of saying it all at once. So that's cool, all right?
All right, give me the argument. Let's go. Let's see.
All right, beautiful. Premise 1, just let me know if you agree or not. Premise 1, if a person receives an attribute at time t, then that person did not possess that attribute prior to t. Do you agree?
If they receive an attribute at some point in time, that means before they didn't possess it. You're saying?
Yeah, I said, like, can a person receive something? I'm saying, can a person receive something they already have?
No, they don't receive something that they already have. Receive
Beautiful.
means you've been
Premise
given,
2,
receive
essential.
something.
Yeah. Beautiful. Essential divine attributes cannot be gained, lost, or acquired. They must be possessed inherently and eternally. Do you agree?
Yes.
Beautiful. Premise 3, possessing supreme authority over all things is inherently and eternally an essential attribute of God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Premise 4, Jesus, the person, received authority over all things according to Matthew 28:18 and John 17:2.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Premise 5, if a person did not eternally possess an essential divine attribute, then that person is not God. Do you agree?
Yep.
Beautiful. C1, therefore, Jesus did not possess supreme authority over all things prior to receiving it from P1 and P4.
Mm-hmm.
C2, therefore, Jesus did not eternally possess any essential divine attribute from C1, P2, and P3. Therefore, Jesus is not God from C2 and P5. What's the rebuttal?
All right. Rebuttal is that when Christ is said to be given authority over all flesh, or authority over all authority over all creation, like Matthew 28:18, sorry. The context is he's referring to his humanity, that in his human nature, his humanity, he laid down and set aside these divine prerogatives, because as a divine person, he has all authority, but in regards to his human nature, he's laid these aside and allowing the Father to exalt him back to that position in accordance to his humanity. That's the answer to all these things. It's just the hypostatic union. It's just the hypostatic union, my man. That she answers all these questions.
Okay, bro, but can you tell me the premise that you disagree with, or is there a non sequitur or what?
Repeat premise 4 for me.
Premise 4, Jesus, the person, received authority over all things.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. I'll just say that needs to be qualified, in that Jesus, the person, in regards to virtue of his human nature. Because in virtue of his divinity, he doesn't receive anything. His divinity has possession, has authority, has power. It's just in virtue of his human nature. So I agree with your premises if they are qualified properly. The thing is, a lot of you Muslims do this, is that you guys don't like to qualify, don't like to actually give us what the Bible says. So the Bible makes it plain that Christ receives authority. Christ is given authority. He's exalted. He is he dies, for example, all in accordance to his humanity. So all these things said are in accordance to his humanity. So they wouldn't be in accordance to his divinity, meaning that Christ, the divine person, is all powerful. Still, he's omniscient. Just in accordance to his human nature, he's given authority and these things. It's all in accordance to his humanity. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, and I do agree that there needs to be a clarification. But if there's no primacy that
so then if it's
wait,
in
hold on,
if it's in
brother,
accord
wait.
wait, so hold up, if it's in accordance with his humanity, then you agree that the divine person of Christ would still be God, then, right?
Dude, okay, you do realize this is a modus formal. This is a modus ponens argument. If there's a primacy you disagree, if there's a non sequitur, that's you're gonna have to tell me. You haven't told me a single primacy you disagree with, nor did you tell me if there's a non sequitur or why.
Yeah, so I said I didn't disagree with any primacy. It's just that I believe premise 4 specifically should be qualified, because unqualified, you are leaving it up to interpretation of what you're talking about. Because remember,
Okay,
in
where's the
Christian,
non sequitur?
yeah, so in Christian understanding, Christ has two natures. So when you just say the person, are you talking about his divinity or his humanity? So that's why I'm saying I agree with all your premises. Just premise 4, you have to qualify. So, for example, I asked you just now, when you qualify premise 4 to say that Christ was given all authority in regards to his human nature, in regards to his humanity, that means he is still God in regards to his divinity, correct?
Beautiful. Yeah. Again, I agree with
Like
everything you're saying. Dude.
I'm gonna let you answer, but I'm just saying I didn't disagree with any of your premises. I just qualified them. So I'm saying I'm gonna repeat them one more time.
Okay.
With the qualification I gave you, that means that Christ would still be God, all powerful, omniscient, all omnipotent, all these things in regards to his divinity. Correct?
Okay. Let me explain something to you. I don't think you're understanding. All right, so I'll explain to you what modens ponens is. Modens ponens is that if the premises, right, if the premises are true, the conclusion is true. So if you agree with all the premises, you should agree with all the conclusions, unless there's a non sequitur, meaning unless the premises don't follow with the conclusion. You still have not told me whether or not the conclusions follow with the premises or not.
Yeah, repeat the conclusion for me again. The C1.
Yeah, beautiful. C1, therefore, Jesus did not possess supreme authority over all things prior to receiving it, from P1 and P4. C2, therefore, Jesus did not eternally possess essential divine attribute, from C1, P2, and P3. Therefore, Jesus is not God. Which conclusion doesn't follow?
Yeah, thank you. C2 and C3, because I believe C1, just like premise 4, need to be qualified. So C1, if I'm repeating it correctly, you said conclusion 1 is that Christ received these things at this time, meaning he didn't have them before. Was that conclusion 1?
Well, hold on. Yeah, we can just remove C3, but can you repeat that?
Repeat conclusion 1 for me.
Just because, like, obviously you're going to disagree, but...
repeat conclusion 1 for me.
Yeah, C1, therefore Jesus did not... Yeah, therefore Jesus did not possess supreme authority over all things prior to receiving it.
Yeah, so...
That's from premise 1 to premise 4.
Facts only, he's referencing Matthew 28:18. Yeah, so C1... I believe needs to be qualified, that he did not possess these things eternally in regards to his humanity, because his humanity was created and he was given authority, given power in regards to his human nature. And then if that's the case,
Brothers,
then
okay, you don't have to explain, brother.
I'm almost done. And if that's the case, then C2 and C3 wouldn't follow, because he's still God. And if you would repeat C2 to me, he's still God and he would still be whatever he said in conclusion 2, because he still has all these attributes in regards to his eternal divine nature, because he's still a divine person that took on flesh. So yeah, they wouldn't follow because they need to be qualified.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. So you disagree with C1? You believe it doesn't follow?
No, I agree with C1. I just think it needs to be qualified. Because I agree with C1 when it's qualified, and then when it's qualified, I disagree with C2 and C3. I don't think C2 and C3 follow.
Okay, all right. So how does C1 not follow with C2?
Repeat C2 for me.
Therefore, Jesus did not possess he did not eternally possess an essential divine attribute.
Yeah, so the reason C1 doesn't follow with C2 is that I said specifically that C1 needs to be qualified. So when you qualify C1 that Christ received authority, or whatever you said, these attributes in time in regards to his human nature, then C2 would be saying that Christ did not eternally have these things in regards to his humanity as well. But you're leaving it open just the person, which the person did in regards to his divinity. So if you're using C2 to talk about his humanity alone, then it wouldn't. Then yes, if you're talking about just the person, then it wouldn't follow, because that person is divine, and according to his divinity, he always had these divine attributes from eternities past. That's why I'm saying once you qualify, like premise 4, conclusion 1, once you qualify what you're talking about, human nature, divine nature, the problem's really kind of fizzle, at least in my estimation.
Beautiful. So you do agree? Yeah, I agree with the qualification. You do agree that in premise 4, when you qualify the human nature, right? It also follows with C1 and C2 that he did not eternally possess essential divine attributes in virtue of the human nature. You do agree with that, right? Just answer yes or no. So
Of course, because his human nature is created.
Beautiful. All right, amazing, dude. So you do agree the person Jesus did receive it. Well, I think what you're doing here is you're predicating the natures instead of the person. All right. So the person, in virtue of the human nature, receives authority over all things. Right. And you agree, like, there's nothing wrong with my conclusions or premises. You agree with all of it.
Just once they're qualified. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Continue.
Beautiful. So now my argument is, now you have Jesus, the person, who both receives authority over all things, meaning he lacked it at some points, and back to premise 2, essential divine attributes cannot be gained, lost, or acquired; they must be possessed inherently and eternally. And you also have the person of Christ, at all times, does not receive authority over things in virtue of the divine nature. That's going to be a contradiction, because you have one person that possesses supreme authority over all things, and also doesn't possess supreme authority over all things. What's going to be the rebuttal?
Yeah, so what is a contradiction defined as?
Yeah, two things going against each other in the same sense, in the same respect, in the same time.
Beautiful. So when Christ has two properties that are distinct in different natures, is that contradictory in the same sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is in the same. It's in the same respect. Yes. What's going to be the rebuttal that it's not?
Yeah, because it's in two distinct natures. Like, for example, hack logic. According to your immaterial part of you, according to your soul or your spirit, whatever you say, are you material or immaterial in accordance with your soul?
Wait, hold on. Well, yeah, I agree. I agree. Hold on. Let me just clarify. I agree that if it's in different respects, then there would be no contradiction. I agree with you. Like a bull can be blue and not blue at the same time, because it can be blue on the inside and not blue on the outside. I agree with you on that. But the issue here, I don't see how it could be, because again, I think you're just mistakenly predicating the natures and not the person. The person, right? Of course, you have two natures. The person, Christ, both receives authority and doesn't receive authority. Eternally has authority over all things. I'm not even gonna I'm gonna grant you there's no issue with that. But you have Jesus, who has authority eternally and doesn't have authority eternally. Again, we're not predicating the natures, we're predicating the person, right? Yeah, in respect to the human and the divine nature. But what's going to be in virtue of the human nature and the divine nature? But there being two natures alone does not make it in different respects. What's the justification? It's in two different respects.
Yeah, because it's in two natures. I disagree with you there. Like, it being in two different natures, I mean, it is in two different respects.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I asked you a question. I asked you a question, so give me an answer. In regards to your soul, are you material or immaterial?
Beautiful. Hold on. Yeah, again, you didn't really listen to what I just said.
I asked you this question. I asked you this question twice now. If you want to give me courtesy being on my panel, you just answer what I asked.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, but let me just correct you. Don't
correct me yet. Just answer what I asked you. I gave you a question.
I answered earlier. I told you earlier.
Are you material or immaterial in regards to your soul, my friend?
In regards to my soul, material, dude.
Your soul is material?
Yep.
All right. Have a good day, my guy. All right. That's a good man right there. He's a good guy. I like him. He's a cool dude. But when he says stuff like that, you gotta let him just take the day off. Take the day off. Come back another time, man. Clip that. Put on your TikTok. It's good for your page. This is going on my YouTube as well. I don't use TikTok like that to upload clips. I'm more of a YouTube guy. But put this on your TikTok. Yeah. If you want to answer again, I'll let you back up. But what I mean is that your soul is immaterial, and that your body is physical, is material. You have skin, but the inner part of you, the soul, unless you don't believe that you have a spirit or a soul, that is immaterial. So if you want to come up and correct yourself, then that's fine. But if you're sticking with your answer, then take the break today and come back next week. All right, my guy. But yeah, that's a good dude. You can come back next week. I'll let you up after. Let's see if you change the script. Let's see what else. For Muslim, oh no. All right, let's let you back up.
Yeah. So if that's what you mean, then no, it's immaterial. My bad.
Okay, that's good. I respect that. Badr, since you're up here, I'm gonna mute you once I'm done with him. I'll let you speak. All right, so you're immaterial in regards to your spirit, right?
I answered your question.
I'm building up, man. I like to build up. In regards to your body now, you're material, correct?
Yeah, of course.
So how would that not be contradictory in your view? Why is it not contradictory in your view? Tell me.
Again, I told you earlier. I agree. Like with the different respects thing, I'm telling you, two natures alone, and I'll explain exactly why. Two natures alone doesn't make it different respects, because again, I think you're predicating the natures and not persons, which is just wrong. But I'm gonna give you an example. Can God create a squared circle?
Before I answer that, could you answer what I asked directly? I asked you what would make.
Dude,
I could answer what I asked you directly. Because you brought me back to natures. I
agree with you, dude.
When we can go back to natures, but I asked you a question. What makes your soul being immaterial and your body being material? What makes that not contradictory? To this grave person,
I don't know, man.
Coffin person, soul is the immaterial part of you, like the immaterial part of your character or spirit, just the breath, the life, whatever you want to qualify it. Yeah, so what makes your soul and your body not contradictory in regards to them having different properties?
I just said I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? Well, the answer is they're in different respects.
I don't know.
Right? And you said you agree with that, right? So when we come to the natures of Christ, when we come to the natures of Christ, you're right that Christ is one person. He's a singular person. He's a divine person. We agree with that. Yeah, we're right. You're right. He's one singular person. But this one singular person has two distinct natures. If you had one nature with contradictory properties, then okay, you might have an argument, and you have to deal with that. Deal with the Coptics and the Coptics and the Egyptian Christians over there. Deal with them.
Can I respond now?
I adhere to the hypostatic union, so you have to deal with that, my friend. Respond. What do you have to say?
I understand, bro. You still haven't provided the justification for why it's in two different respects. So now I'm gonna hold on one second. I'm gonna explain to you why two distinct natures alone does not make it in different respects. So I'm gonna ask you this. You see my profile picture, right?
It's actually not loading, but is it just like right now? It's a white circle, so I don't really see.
Hold on, I actually left.
I don't see a picture. Yeah, I could hear you.
Yeah, I'll just show you. You see this?
Oh, okay. That's a square
circle, right?
That's your yeah, I see it.
Yes. Can God make this one shape in a perfect circle, perfect square, simultaneously one shape?
No, because
or is that a contradiction?
No, because in the same sense it'd be contradictory. Because a square has four sides, a circle has none. So in the same sense it'd be contradictory.
All right, so you do agree squares have their own set of essential properties, right? Because square, in order to be a square, it would have to be four sides and four corners. You agree, yes?
Yeah, I just said that. Well, that's why I answered you. If you make a square circle in the same sense as each other, then that's contradictory,
Also, wait, hold on. And also, you have a circle, right? It has its own set of essential properties. No sides, no corners, right?
Yeah, I got you.
It just sounds like he just broke down the hypostatic union. He just
hold on,
the human nature and the God nature.
Wait, hold on,
two different sets of property.
Hold on,
facts. Let me get this point now. Let me get the point. Go ahead.
So you agree? You have one subject, which is one singular shape. Yes.
One subject is one singular shape.
I'm asking. You agree that there's one subject, which is one singular shape, right?
One person. I don't think.
I
don't think the nature's. I don't think the nature's the.
Dude,
nature's the
I'm not
talking
about Jesus. I'm talking about the squared circle. This is two shapes. This is two shapes into each other. It's not one shape, right? Because obviously you can't make a squared circle. That's impossible.
Okay.
You agree with that, right?
So then you're talking about two different respects. Well, if it's in two different respects, I'm answering what you bring up. If it's in two different respects, then that can work. Like, for example, you put that
Wait.
circle inside the square. That's just in two different respects. It's not a square circle, but it's a circle and a square.
No,
Two different respects.
that doesn't.
It wouldn't be a square circle. It'd just be a circle inside of a square. It's in two different respects. It's the same thing I'm bringing up with the hypostatic union. That it's two natures in one person.
Brother, please let me speak.
Two natures in one person.
Okay,
like what do you not get, bro?
Let me make this.
What you ain't getting, man?
Brother, okay, so I don't think dude, wait, you haven't even let me get to my point yet. So let me just make this more clear for you. Is Jesus one subject? The person of Christ, is that one subject?
The person is one subject, yep.
Beautiful. And is one shape one subject?
Is one shape one subject? I'd equate the shapes here with natures, if that's how you're using it. Because you're using an analogy, I have to equate it to what I believe.
This is what? This is not one shape, by the way. This is two shapes into each other, because you can't create one shape that's
I know. I'm saying you're equating the shapes. Unless I'm wrong, you're equating the shapes with the nature. So I'm saying that would be like the different thing there. Like listen. I don't know, bro.
All right, yeah. Listen, right.
Like the analogy you're bringing up can't really equate to this. Like, but what the analogy you're bringing up, you're trying to show that the square and the circle.
You don't even know what my point is yet, dude.
The square and the circle can be one in two different respects, because the circle is
brother,
the square.
You have no idea,
right?
brother. I promise you, you have no idea. I haven't even got to my conclusion yet. You have no idea what my point even is yet. All right. I'm trying to prove to you that nature itself does not make in different respects, and I'll explain why. Just please let me finish, bro. Just let me finish, bro. Mm-hmm. You have one subject, the person of Christ. You have one. I'm just explaining. I'm not even getting to my point yet. I'm just explaining why it's comparable. You have one subject, the person of Christ, who has two natures, the human and the divine. You have one subject, which is one singular shape with two natures, a circular and a square nature. Right? You said God cannot create a squared circle, and that obviously that's impossible, because you have two sets of essential properties that contradict each other.
In the same sense, yep.
Beautiful. So you have the circular nature. Yeah, but this wouldn't be in the same respect. That's not even my point. I'm explaining why two natures doesn't make
continue your point. Continue your point.
Wait, hold on. Well, hold on. So you agree that if there's hypothetical, if there was one singular shape, one subject, one singular shape with a circular nature and a square nature, right? At the same time, right? The shape would not be circular in the same respect that it is squared. Do you agree with that?
What? A singular shape of two.
Is
that even possible, bro? What are we talking about?
It's you just
like
obviously
what? Like
possible,
yeah. Analogies have to at least be somewhat similar. Like, is that even possible?
That's
like,
bro. It's very similar. Brother. Oh my God, brother.
What are we talking about?
Dude. I just explained to you.
Listen, bro. I'm gonna make this simple, because right now it's just
please let me. Dude, why do you never let me speak, dude?
I do. I let you speak for a long time. I have a circle.
You're not answering my question.
Yo,
dude.
I'm gonna mute you now. I'm gonna make this really simple.
You're not answering my question, dude.
I'm gonna mute you one more time. You unmute yourself.
Please,
you have one shape. You have one subject.
You're done. You're just wasting time. I let this guy up twice, just wasting time, man. Just wasting time.
He was up here.
This guy's just wasting time.
Laundering, bro. So the thing about the square and the circle, right? The funny thing about that is that he has no choice but to equate that to the two natures, because you're already speaking about the person, right? Mm-hmm. So what he showed us was an actual good understanding of how we can view the incarnation. The paper, the white paper, is the person. The square can be the nature of God, and then the circle can be the nature of the human. That's it. The natures don't mix. You could perfectly see the circle. The square was also there.
Like, I don't understand.
One subject, which is the paper.
Like, these guys just bring up new arguments
He just cooked himself.
Every single time. Like, we already say square circles are not possible, because in the same respect they're contradictory. a square and a circle, like logic showed to Ali Dawa back in June. Y'all are funny, man. You guys are funny, bro. But yeah, if you're on TikTok, tonight's gonna be a quieter night. If you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, and you got any questions, or if you disagree, tell me, why aren't you Christian? And you want to tell us why? Join up, man.
He said Christ equals one subject, right? Mm-hmm. One shape is one subject. Then he's saying that the two natures. So hold on. So If it's one subject, so is Christ one of the shapes? Then what is the other shape? Like, what is he talking about? He's conflating persons and natures.
He was getting so confused.
Celebrating Jesus tonight, we sing praises.
We sing praises to our King, for He is the King of Kings. We sing praises to our King, for He's the King of Kings.
Everybody sing Jesus tonight. We sing praises.
We sing praises to our King, for He is the King of Kings. We sing praises to our King, for He's the King of Kings.
Everybody sing.